he's still got a lot of quality, and I really think this could be a lot closer than people will probably realise.
All right, well, we'll see. A nice overtime maybe to kick us off.
Maybe.
We'll see. Either way, we are getting into it. Pistol, of course, underway. The odds, yeah, pretty heavily in favour of MIBR. So I think, you know, most people seem to be in agreement at the moment for this best of one. Rare Atom, they've got an awful lot of work to do to pull off the upset. And, of course, starting off on that T side. Never really ideal. Of
course, yeah, T side is going to be always a tough one, especially on Overpass. I mean, I'd say probably the most CT-sided maps in the pool at the moment, even though Counter-Strike in general is pretty CT-sided. BRN is trying to defend, and use a flashbang from a teammate to go for a peek, but Kaze will immediately rip his head off, and now Cello is under a bit of pressure actually on the back of the site, and that's just going to overrun the A-site defense. So already in a 2v5, there's not really any way back in here for MIBR.
This is how you do it if you're Rare Atom, though, right? I mean, exactly what they were talking about on the desk. Play your own game. Don't be messing about. Just get in there and click heads. I mean, definitely what this squad is about. So far, so good. Just Exit and Turtle, of course, I think, indeed, sat on the extremities, trying to find something, but they're really, really not giving anything away on the Rare Atom side, right? First phase from Mercury. He finds a kill even and is still alive. Round's going to be over. There was that kit. There was that hope, but... yeah, A-bomb site of Overpass, mate. There's absolutely no chance of breaking back in.
Yeah, and they even had a setup there for it as well, didn't they? I mean, it's not like they sort of went into the site and the CT side had to play retake. I mean, simple as that. They had 3 players there with the flash to try and get a early peek in as well. But yeah, Cello got overrun with that kit, of course. Lack of armor with that one. You can't drop kits in Counter-Strike, unfortunately. And yeah, it'll be an opening pistol for Rare Atom, and a critical start, of course, on the T side as well. 2 kills from Mercury to kick us off.
Early pause coming in. I'm not saying anything just yet. don't want to be jinxing anything at this point, but of course, wouldn't be day one of a LAN without a little hiccup.
Of course. It's pretty exciting, of course, for all these teams. I mean, Valencia being in the DreamHack event, of course, in Valencia. First LAN for Rare Atom in this region, of course, having grinded their way through APAC. I mean, they did win their own region, of course, in Challenger League, Season 41. So they owned everyone in their region, basically, apart from that weird game against IHC, where they did actually lose 16-0 on Ancient before winning the next 2 maps to win the entire event. So, yeah, they are certainly a team in form. And now MIBR with the force buy coming in, going to try and see what they can do early on. BON on the scout, of course. He is the AWPer, Turtle, UMP. Don't see many UMPs these days.
What's going on over here, then? BRN, early tag. Could be pretty dangerous, actually. So we'll come back to that, put a pin in it for now. Advent, of course, in this connector area, timing kind of everything. He's going to meet Cello in a second, got the angle for it, and Mac 10 beats that CZ every day of the week. So first kill is often the hardest in rounds like this. Rare Atom able to get it on the board. It's now just a case of kind of keeping that advantage. Plenty of time to work with, so looking good for the anti-force buy round.
Yeah, anti-force buy. If they can get over this, obviously they have a clean run to a 3-0, you'd imagine. Advent actually exploding there through Squeaky Door. He does manage to go 1 for 1, so that's okay. That gives Giotto a UMP, of course, as well, picked up from his teammate, but that's really all he has to work with. The bomb will be planted toward B. Kaze will change the plant position, of course, being wary of Short having presence in the form of Jota in that angle. But another plant, Scriv, and honestly, I would say at this stage, they might just want to, as they will be left with nothing if they push for it in the next round, just save the scout, save the UMP, save the Deagle, and try again.
Definitely feel the effect of LAN, right? Much more timid, I think, than if we saw these 2 teams meet online. Way more patient play from both sides, actually. Early rifles, you know, making sure that there's only the 1 Mac 10. Not messing around here on either side, to be honest with you. So I think, like you say, we might be in for a closer affair than people expect, just because you've got this first game of the day, not too much LAN experience for some of these players, the early jitters, as we like to say. Yeah. And then just kind of that added effect of, you know, playing on LAN is very, very different, and the way that your mind approaches the game is going to be very, very different. So yeah, a small taste, I think, of what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Advent, Kaze, and Yemen, they've been there, done that. I mean, Advent was on Vici, I think it was actually for almost 5 years over that period of time. I think it was 2017 to the beginning of the year. So, yeah, pretty insane run for him on that team. And yeah, the amount of experience they have through LAN as well, on that old roster is not to be sniffed at. And now, with the setup in connector, they have to make sure they avoid it and don't walk into the close range pistols. And this UMP actually, which is on the edge of the shelvings there, I believe, where you can swipe the headshot angle. But Mercury, lovely pre-fire. But does it bait Cello in? That's the question.
Oh, timing. Not able to catch it. Mosey, a really good read as well, you know. There might be someone around waiting to get that timing, and he's just watching the sneaky angles. So again, Rare Atom looking really good. There's these small signs. They are very well put together at the moment. Jota, good for one, despite being blinded, but that looks to be all she wrote for it. BRN has this scout. I could maybe get one, but the round definitely going to go the way of Rare Atom here.
Ooh, there you go. You're right about one. Could even get a second. I mean, Mercury's going to play a little bit safer now. He is one scoutable, I believe, as well, on 60 health. But in the end, he will get caught by Kaze from the flank toward Bank. And it's a lovely, clean 3-0 start for Rare Atom. Now the guns can come out for MIBR. So important to get the AWP up and running on the CT side of Overpass as quickly as possible. And BRN will pick that up. So plenty of utility. They're looking okay. But at the moment, Rare Atom seem to have come into this one with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're only a few rounds in. It's definitely way easier to play from ahead. And certainly after winning the pistol, you get that massive, massive boost, right? Like we say, they played the force spy pretty well. Full respect given across, not just sort of sending it into B or something like that.
Yeah.
But there is still a lot of time for this to unravel. And broken record at this point, CT side still pretty prominent, even with the M4 changes. And MIBR, that sort of, I like to call it the brick wall effect, right? You got this, you know, full defense across the CT side, and it's going to be very hard to find and pinpoint an area that you can maybe abuse on this Rare Atom side with, you know, our stronger individuals. Because I just don't think that there's really too many that can contend with the entire roster of MIBR.
Yeah, I mean, MIBR's roster, right? I mean, as you say, there's a lot of good things about it. They've had some really good results as of late. One thing I will mention, of course, is the fact they did make it through their last LAN event in EPL Season 16 Conference, of course. They managed to qualify for Pro League, which is great for them. But we have to, of course, add a caveat to that the teams they beat were Kawana, the German mixed team, helmed by Crystal, and Tai Lu, who are most certainly not the team that they once were. So I think Tai Lu actually were the replacements for Rare Atom because of the visa issues they had. So it's not two wins which really are hugely impressive. They were the favourites for both those two games. They still made it, and they'll get to apply their trade in Pro League, of course. But yeah, it's still... It was, for Rare Atom, I'm sure in this one, they'll be going into this one knowing they have a great chance at stealing a BO1 for sure.
Always curious with formats like this.
Nice tattoo there, pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is quite, wow, that is quite nice actually.
Yeah.
Hopefully we won't be too long on the technical pause here, folks, so do bear with, don't go anywhere. Bums on seats, please. And there you go. I wasn't joking, mate. We're straight into it. So here we go. First rifle round, right? We've talked up the importance of this. You know where it's at, folks at home. MIBR, though, certainly the one thing that gets away from the CT side is the money. So I think they would love to get this first rifle and not have to worry about that so much.
Yeah, for sure. And they are obviously sticking with a couple of Galils, but the Galils are a great weapon. And in the opening duel, it will be Jota to take Mercury out. Immediate trade by Jiang Yang. They actually have a lot of control towards short, and they're going to go straight in toward B here. Turtle under pressure toward water. Thankfully, he's got his teammate Exit to peek off of him, and now Cello's here for support as well. And just like that, out of nowhere, it's a 4v2. And I don't think there's going to be much way back in this situation. It is actually the two Galils remaining. A great rifle, some say better than the M4A4 at the moment, with how cheap it is, how much armor penetration it has. But it's all down to personal preference, but I somehow have a doubt that they can do much in a 2v4 now.
Yeah, I'd like to know, are you one of those people?
One of those people who switched back to the M4A4?
No, who says the Galil's better?
It's got 35 bullets, man, and it's got a good armor pen. I don't know what to tell you. I quite like it.
I quite like it. I don't know whether it's better than the A4.
I saw some debates about that on Twitter the other day, so I thought I'd throw that one into that.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Some may say controversial.
Have you gone back to the M4A4 over the years?
No, I have not. No.
Yeah, I have now.
I can't spray to save my life. So
I can't either,
nice,
but...
low fire rate's very nice.
I get it, but... Yeah. I mean, actually, Kaze here, he's got a free A bomb site somehow, so he looks a bit more confused about this than anyone else, to be fair, that he's managed to get a plant down, which is good for the future economy, but 1v4 with the Galil, I think, might be a little bit too much to ask. 3 coming up towards CT. What can he do with this one? They do have a smoke for the bomb if need be, and they've got plenty of utility on Turtle, and they've got a couple of kits, so shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. They're just buying time for the flank as well, right? Not taking any risks. Flash round. He's not watching for it at all. I mean, he does get another kill. I thought it'd be a pretty easy ride if they just played off the flank.
Yeah.
So, a bomb plant out of nowhere, a kill for free. You can't complain, to be honest.
No, that was actually pretty free. I mean, I think MIBR will actually be quite disappointed with themselves that they've let that plant come through. So in the end, it's a nice little bit of bonus cash here for Rare Atom, and they will, of course, buy the next after their 3-0 start. Looks like we've got a Krieg bought up early on. Don't see that much these days. Yangman will pick that one up. I think that was bought by Mercury, if I'm not mistaken. So that's perhaps personal preference on that one. Pretty easy spray control, just down and to the left. And when it was its most OP start, it was terrifying, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, a while ago now, but like I'm not too sure. There's certain areas where you maybe see the AUG, obviously the CT counterpart on the longer range angles. I'm not quite sure. We'll see what he does with it. I think I heard a bit of a spamming, perhaps. Big damage coming in from Cello, though. And yeah, 2 big ouchies. No kills as yet, but an awful lot of damage from MIBR dished out. And this is, again, what we've been touching on, where I just feel that the proactivity from some of these MIBR individuals, they have a lot of confidence, a lot of, you know, throw your shoulders around kind of vibe. And so far, Rare Atom are really feeling it, right? We saw some pretty early aggressive kills in the previous round, and here we don't quite have them, but near enough.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a couple of rounds, of course, with them being trying to get aggressive control towards short control and overpass on T side and CT side is one of the most critical portions of the map because if the CT side have it, of course, then the T side can't execute from water. But yeah, this is a tough one now with Mosier on 1 health. He's been dropped the AWP, of course, but with Advent on 6, and now with Mercury being taken down by their counterpart Orpa, of course. BRN, not much you can really do. Might walk into the cross there, though. Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought for sure Jiangyang will be able to click that head, but Cello quicker on the trigger.
That's the 3 ping effect.
Indeed.
Even on the slow peak, the peak's advantage is pretty large. And
Shadow.
A cheeky attempt. Shadow spotted. I think he was dead to rights there anyway, being on 6 HP. Kaze trying to find a gap here to get the trade, but it's not going to happen. They might even be walking away to save.
7 seconds they are for sure, yeah.
Yeah, so flawless round from MIBR. And again, it comes off some cheeky prodding and poking. You know, you see Rare Atom going for the same sort of solo plays. They get shut down very easily. So it's already, for me, look, we're 5 rounds in, but it's already pretty worrying how much autonomy this CT side is getting to just do what they like.
Yeah, I feel like if Rare Atom play like that in their gun rounds, they're not going to win a single one. They need to start going together because that was just walking through smokes. Sure, I mean, the round was basically over once MIBR hit those 2 dinks, right? I mean, when you start a round basically with the 2 players on 1 and 6 health respectively, there's not really much you can do. But yeah, they're going to need to stick together and play off of each other rather than make solo plays, I think, to stop the CT setups of MIBR. Pistols now for Rare Atom alongside those 2 saved guns. And then Mac 10 on Jiangyang as well. And again, they're taking so much damage. And because of that, Cello will peek off the edge of it and get 3 in connector. Drops the bomb as well. And the 3 players who forced up to support the saved AWP and AK are gone.
Should be able to get the bomb quite easily. But once again, the round looking over before it's even really begun for Rare Atom. MIBR will now just rest on their heels, wait for the remaining 2 players to come to them. And I don't know whether you can go for the 2 rounds in a row where you save, but at the same time, what other options do you have? be on lock. Kaze will manage to find Turtle here, but a very, very, very quick flank available from short. Not going to be the case. They're just going to play in for a little mini retake here. They do have a player out towards Heaven as well. Not enough utility on these T-side players to really stop them coming in, but the kills are very nearly going their way. Another one picked up by Mozia, but, you know, you keep getting these, you're losing HP. They still don't really have the control of the site that they're after. Bomb plant, like I say, with no utility is nigh on impossible with the position of these CT players at the moment. That site smoke's just gone down. So MIBR, wind the clock down, go for some later peaks maybe. It's a fake out coming in from Kaze. Another kill for Mozia. So now it kind of gets interesting. This short player very nervous about moving in, and Kaze kind of feels that, right? Trying to get some information, trying to spot out BRN. Can't quite find the gaps here. So very close on these taps through the smoke. Another kill comes through from Mozia. This has gotten way out of hand now. Exit the only one left. 1 versus 2. It's still very doable with the HP bars. He knows where 1 is. He's got no idea where the AWP's gone off to. And I think now that he's moved in towards Graffiti, round is over. And well, Rare Atom, 2v5? Are you serious?
2v5. When Kaze missed that flick towards short, I thought for sure that, that was going to be the end of the round. That was his chance to bring it back into a sort of much more of an even standing. But with the 2 guns they saved, despite Cello, as you can see there, taking down the 3 players who forced up to support the 2 guns, they win the round. And look at these headshots from Mozia, playing all the tight angles, catching MIBR off 2 times over, and even making it a third at the end. Kaze holding the defensive angle to finish it off. Absolutely insane. And yeah, one thing I will say about that round as well is the fact that it's the 2 guns they saved as well. It's just absolutely remarkable. And the main factor for me is that how MIBR allowed that to happen was honestly nightmarish for them. They should not have played it that carefully in any way, shape or form. And they should have been a little bit more aggressive on that one, especially with the health that they had left.
Yes. Yes. And again, this comes with kind of the LAN experience. There is such a thing as too much respect.
Yeah.
I think they were certainly in a position of like, okay, if we have to maybe let them get the bomb down, fair enough. But it also looked like maybe you have players on slightly different pages where some want to go for it, some don't. And then you get this indecisiveness where not everyone's working together. So it's actually a massive round, to be honest. Again,
huge,
in the best of 1, it's those types of rounds that are really going to swing it. And you can very, very quickly, as you said, move in towards playoffs, and especially in this group where, you know, it's not like you win this and then you've got outsiders or Furia waiting for you. One of the favorites of the tournament, you have teams that are very, very beatable. BRN, though, going to open up. Looking for a little bit more. There's 4 players ready to go on this CT side. More T's on the B-bomb side. This is really not looking good.
Yeah, 8 players ready to fight in this one, and yeah, you just can't get through in that sort of area. When the smokes are up as well, helping out the CT angles, and MIBR are going to hit straight back, and they're going to do so very cleanly indeed. And yeah, that previous round, just thinking about it again, as Atom will save with 5 seconds to go, the AWP and the AK. Mozia is the youngest guy, of course. He's 17. He's the guy that's been brought in. He's the one that put his team on his back, actually, with one of his first LAN events, I'm sure, to bring that one through. And the fact that Kaze got that opening pick toward Monster as well, of course. You saw MIBR had the player on the back of the railing, right? And that railing position was actually, I think, nerfed a couple of times by Valve, actually, in the past. But they keep finding new pixels to stand on to play that dirty angle when you can see legs first. But when it's an AWP on the T side, that is not really much you can do about that. Atom will call a timeout for the beginning of this round to chalk this one over. They don't want to lose what they've just been given, having just won that 2v5 and now might have a rough economy to play with coming up here. There you go. This is Mozia Mercury's first ever LAN match. They have 89 maps between them. So that is that's not definitely a newbie to the scene, especially in EU. No doubt about it.
For sure. Not a lot.
Not a lot to go off. That's why they were unknown, right? I mean, the desk did the same thing. Like, it's like these are the guys we don't really know too much about. Have to dig into a bit of research and find out where they came from. And end of the day, they were just plucked, weren't they? And they're showing up.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes that works to your advantage, right?
Yeah,
you don't really know what to expect out of these players. How are they going to play a 2 versus 5, right? You don't know if we need to give him space because he's sick, or we need to get in his face because he gets a bit nervous, you know. They really don't know how to approach that, and I think certainly that's what we see in that big 2v5. Love the timeout here from Rare Atom as well. You work out the buy, you work out what you want to do in this round, and I would imagine talking about the future rifle round as well, because we have to be real. It's a very nice round, but a lot of the mistakes made by MIBR, that's what allows you to win the round at the end of the day. So they're going to take a quick step and be like, okie dokie, not going to let that happen again.
They hit straight back as well, didn't they?
Right, exactly. So it's really difficult to say how much of a ripple effect it's going to have, and the fact that they hit straight back, like you say, has sort of ruined the prospects for these upcoming rounds. So MIBR, take it on the chin, the one silly round, let's not let it happen again, and just get right back to the regularly scheduled programming.
Hello, Jota. He's got a flank coming all the way through Monster toward T-spawn, but he'll plant a smoke, and that'll actually get him killed. Of course, he had no information of a second player towards short, so it's not necessarily his fault for pulling out utility in that scenario. No information for him to play with. Advent to go down, and that won't be a problem, of course. He can now lead from the sidelines. Jota immediately traded means that gives Rare Atom a chance to move up toward the A-bomb site here. 30 seconds to go. It's definitely going to be an A play, but again, MIBR rotated everyone into position. There are 2 here, and they're going to make it 3 soon, but already it is down to 2. Make that down to 1. Mercury gets 2 entries again. Now, Exit's the last one left, and he's going to get overrun by Jamyoung. What a play. What an entry again from Rare Atom. And sticking together seems to be the way to go. They're going to make it 5 unless Turtle can pull off a ridiculous play.
They can most certainly shoot back on that Rare Atom side. MIBR do need to be careful. Some very open angles. And Mercury ain't missing. Turtle just chilling around. Might be able to scrape together a buy in the next if they so fancy it. I mean, I'd maybe recommend it. Stay hot on the heels of your opponents, right? And just try and give them a taste of their own medicine that they've dished out in this round. So
yep.
Yeah, certainly a big round once again from Rare Atom. This is kind of the not necessarily like random, let's say surprise factor that these Asian teams especially are known for, and Rare Atom bringing it out in droves. So far, a 2v5.5 buy is the 1 round's post pistol.
Yeah, and 2 wonderful entries from Mercury on the Galil as well. It wasn't like it was an AK. That was just 2 instant double dinks with the Galil. And we've reached a weird stage now in this in the opening stages of this first half, where both teams' economy, because it's been so back and forth, it is pretty low at the moment. I mean, MIBR have saved the M4, but they're actually not going to force up around it. They have 2 default USPs, a Deagle and a CZ, to support them. Not the 5.7, of course, which I think to be the superior one, but they are going to go for that boosting connector, and that will get Turtle the opening pick. Really well played, and Jota spams his Deagle towards short, gets the headshot. His crosshair was bang on, actually, for the second, but that's the RNG of the Deagle sometimes. Mosier going up toward Monster, needs to be careful of the CZ, and he'll get caught as well. And just like that, it's another 2v5 to have to recover. They do get 1 back, but Advent takes a lot of damage getting that kill. The thing is, there is, of course, still 2 players alive with absolutely nothing, just the USPs, but Turtle being around and about, lurking about, is going to make this very difficult. They do remove him, but Exit head down toward Toxic Barrels. We'll get 1 more. And now Kaze 1v3 with the AWP. Molly, miss, unfortunately. We didn't see that one. Ignore that. Happens to the best of us. He'll switch to the rifle to give it a go. He's got a whole 50 seconds to play with here, so...
He's got the bomb. And he's working his way through the armory right now. Comfortable on the AK. The spray down's a little bit rough. Only a USP that he came up against, so it takes winnable. Some HP off of him. Yeah, for sure. No armor on these remaining players either. So, yeah, very, very winnable. Jota in the right spot, but just caught out, unfortunately, not ready enough for the fight. A couple seconds later, and I think it might have been good for him. So here we go. This is where it gets very interesting indeed. Exit on the USP. What can he get done? Damage traded so far. Flash goes in. He knows exactly where he's at as well. Of course, not going to have a kit in a round like this. So Kaze, the world is oyster at the moment. A massive clutch required. What is that, though? Exit with the Ferrari peak USP headshot. The only way that he could have won that round. And he absolutely smashes it. Huge pickup with 0 investment from the MIBR side.
Yeah, that's huge, of course, for the CT economy as well. Winning around with just the M4 and a couple of pistols. And I thought, honestly, Kaze played a blinder there because that smoke that he missed throwing it onto the dice on default actually gave him something to play with, look. Like, maybe he thought that Exit saw that smoke and was like, okay, maybe he's fallen behind it. But in the end, he crept through it trying to make a play. But maybe him thinking, well, I can make a play with this missed smoke here, actually got him killed in the end. He was 8-1 before that, now 8-2, of course, but I was feeling that clutch. He did everything right, took down Jota with that singular AK. Jota maybe probably thought that he was in a pretty safe spot there, because if he does look to try and plant toward A, long is one of the last spots you would check probably, because he's got to worry about truck, green bin, and bank, of course, as well. So in the end, just about get away with it thanks to that USP headshot. Very tasty one. And this game continues to go back and forth. Again, Rare Atom's economy on a knife edge. Tough one for both teams. Very close opening stages.
It's what we call in the biz as well a tilter. So it's a very, very tough round to get past if you are Rare Atom. Dodgy spray down here from Jota, but he will get it done. They're looking to burst in towards B. Turtles found one. The counter flashes are so damn good here as well to keep them back. No kill's going to come off of it, but sometimes they don't have to. Just really making them second guess the push here, as you can see. They'll keep getting the damage back in onto the CT side. Actually just going to send it. Turtle not ready for that at all. Exit gets a flash in. First, second. Oh, he was looking for that third, but couldn't quite get it. Jam Young, the only one left. We'll get the bomb. You talked about that money. It is indeed pretty important here, but 3 kills to find would be a hell of a thing if he could pull this off.
Yeah, I mean, Jota's low, but he has the AWP, so it should be all right. Playing the tight angle toward the sandbags, that means he's hidden from heaven, but of course not from short. Thing is, he doesn't have to worry about that at all. All 3 coming in towards CT here, but he has got no clue whatsoever. He's so antsy, you can tell. In comes utility, and he's still worried about heaven. Water player's going to be coming in, and he can't hit the first. Cello finishes him off. And that will equalise this first half at 5 apiece. A lot of interesting rounds have already played out. 2v5s, weird eco victories. This is exactly what I wanted from this game, to be honest, Scriv. I wanted to see some exciting CS, and I thought we'd get it with these two teams. Very explosive, of course, especially on LAN. There's a lot of mistakes that can be made when you have these nerves, of course. And they're already proving that that can happen at this level. And now Rare Atom will probably lose the lead here unless they can provide a tasty, fast play with the Tech-9s.
Good flash. BRN is just running into the wall right now. Cover will be in from below, but like I say, good flash. BRN going to go down. Kaze trades out Cello. Jota is hot on the heels, but you can see the A-bomb site a little bit vulnerable. Keep the guessing game going here as well. Mosey are going to find himself an M4. Watch that. Oh,
they've left backside.
The bomb. He's not watching that backside. He's going back to pick up the bomb.
Is this matchmaking? Who's left the bomb in spawn, guys?
It's a little annoying, isn't it, to be honest?
And look where Jota's got now. That's actually, of course, he doesn't have any information of this, but the fact that he's in this position, he's got so much map control already.
It's very funny, though, isn't it? A situation like this. I don't think the CT side, their mind doesn't go towards like, oh, they must have left the bomb in T spawn. They're very, very split. So all these players in their solo positions need to be really careful. And I think you start to second guess yourself. However, the guess that you make, is pretty damn effective here. Jota has heard the steps and he's got a very fast flank. Yeah, this should put an end to the round. Kaze, with those 2 opening kills, of course, has managed to pick himself up his favoured AWP. So that's what makes me think there's still a chance in this one, but this flank is so untelegraphed. There's no way. Oh, why is he checking connector? Surely not.
Surely he's not checking connector. Okay, he's going back up again. Just double checking there's no one lurking in. And now he can catch the bomb plant off. Trying to tap him down. Does get one, but that's a beautiful trade from Advent with the deagle. And now 2v2, playing the headshot angle on the flower beds. Molly in toward the green bin area. And that was the Incendiary that was picked up by Kaze, and he'll peek for his third. It's now all down to Exit, 1 versus 2. Can't hit the spray on the first as well. And again, Rare Atom win an unlikely round. It's them to take the lead again at 6-5.
MIBR, man, they will be so annoyed with themselves by this point. I mean, I certainly would be, right? And, imagine being stood behind them right now, head in hands moments quite a bit here. They've won one of their own, but they've also dropped an awful lot of these, borderline unacceptable rounds. beauty of the game, you know. It's not over till it's over within a round, of course. That's why we're here, but all the same. Jota getting aggressive.
Again. Not
going to work. In the past, it's been somewhat successful, right? But they are now being thwarted. They're being held back by Rare Atom. This is not good signs for the CT side.
Yeah, and already at this stage, right, it's 6 rounds on T. I mean, I actually meant to bring up earlier that I would say if they can get, especially for their first LAN game, if they can get 5 or 6, that's a huge success for a T side, especially on Overpass when you could be coming in cold. But at the moment, they seem to be very comfortable in this situation. And once you get Kaze on the CT side with his AWP, he's already 12-3, of course. Plenty of saves, got to remind you. But still, BRN in the long bathrooms area. I don't think... Okay, never mind. Jamion's playing the trigger discipline, just executes him in the back of the head. I was about to say, looking at the minimap, I'm wondering why he hasn't been killed yet, but I saw it from the first-person angle in the end. And now 5v3, executing toward the A site. Smokes are up, mollies are in. I would imagine, with MIBR having fully invested into this round, they're going to be looking to save again.
Yep. You would imagine correctly. Maybe a look in to recover one of the drop rifles there. Turtle probably on his way.
Yeah.
To scoop one up. But yeah, it's kind of crumbling a little bit, to be quite honest with you. Rare Atom hitting their groove, getting that confidence, you know. They are really starting to show what they are capable of.
Yeah.
And they're looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good, I can't lie to you. It's not the cleanest Counter-Strike. This is probably the first sort of round where we've seen them work off of the initial pick. And as Mr. Snake pointed out on the desk, it is often the mid-rounding where a team like this can fall apart. But if you don't really have to do very much mid-rounding, then you've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of people may just, you know, take a quick glance at the stats, for example, and say, well, Rare Atom don't really play this map. Well, it's kind of true, but the 2 times they have played it, of course, reminder, it was in their own region, in Challenger League, in the Asia-Pacific region, so you can't really go off that too much, but they are unbeaten in the 2 they've played, both against IHC, of course, the major attending roster that we saw create so much promise and hype at the previous major. It was 16-8 and 16-11 within the space of 2 days, those maps. Already, the opening stages of this round, BRN is tagged down through the wall, choosing to full eco on the other 2 players. 3 M4s. Interesting to see what they do with them. Maybe stack 3 on the A-bomb site, hope that Rare Atom go toward A, but, well, the one toward long has already been taken out. Kaze with a beautiful pre-fire, and he's really shown up to play in the opening stages of this one. Of course, a lot of experience now at 27. It's weird, right? Time really goes past quickly. I still almost consider him a young gun, but he's really not anymore. He's a veteran because he's so fast, I guess. It makes me think that. Still, even now, Turtle has a chance at this 1v3 with one of the saved M4s, but Kaze will hit another. 3 more for him, and he's now 15-3, way and above anyone else on the server at the moment.
Worth his weight in gold. Talked about the power, the prominence of the player, but also the experience. It's all coming to a head right now in this first game. And to be honest, AWP on the T side of Overpass is not the most common thing in the world. You see it as a bit of an answer back sometimes, but he's had it pretty much every single rifle round here. So really, 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 really far and away the best player on the server at the moment. And I think it's only going to continue moving in to that second half. And the way things look, Rare Atom are in for a pretty damn good scoreline heading into that second half.
Yeah, they've already confirmed their lead with that previous. And MIBR don't even have the AWP on this buy in this one because their economy, of course, with the back and forth rounds, both teams have struggled with that, of course, but now it's Rare Atom who've pulled away. Kaze's got 12k, of course, with a couple of rounds left. Doesn't matter, they're going to be fine, even if they lose this one. But MIBR without the sniper rifle on the CT side can be tough, so they might have to make some solo plays, might have to go looking for some information. BRN in the divider angle, looking to go for the duel, and as he hears that Molotov come in, he will take it. Jamyung will drop, and with a minute to go, Rare Atom will take control of short.
It's funny, man, watching these MIBR players, a lot of their kills look so smooth.
He's done it again. He's repeated the exact same trick from the 2v5.
He's got a great little angle there for sure. Kaze has figured that one out. However, Jota, they can't deal with him even while blind. Exit going to find another. And now just Advent, overwhelmed, of course. I don't think they'll be able to grab an AWP here, so that's a silver lining moving into the final round of this first half.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's another round, and it just sort of feeds in. That first kill looked that way in that round as well. This one here. A lot of them feel very crisp for MIBR. It's just a bit weird. They've let rounds slip away. Money gets away from them, and Rare Atom have really abused that fact. And again, it's this whole thing, man. It's where it all changes with, you know, the format. At BO3, you could say, maybe you can afford some of the mistakes in between the maps. You work them out. But the BO1, you can't, you know. And then all of a sudden, your life is on the line later on in the day. So really, really, really scary stuff if you drop this best of all.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The last round of the half coming in. Kaze really seems to have figured out his hard clear of that little monster railing angle. Backer monster. That's twice now he's pulled off that trick. Of course, no round victory this time. And the main reason for that was the fact they had Jota baited in on the left side of monster, of course, as well as the insurance policy. They avoided it. Avoided the nightmare of another advantage lost, which is well played. With 1 minute 10, again, Rare Atom are comfortable taking control of the A side of the map, going in toward bathrooms. BRN again in Divider. And he's going to get caught off. They had no support for it this time. That's a big oversight. MIBR almost feels like a lack of comms in that situation. I've left your back, guys. Care the banana angle, but in the end, it might come back to bite them. 5v4 for Rare Atom heading in toward A here.
Bit of a fortress. It is a 5-on-4, but it's a bit of a fortress. 40 seconds. They've got to move up these lines. Great little double peek coming in. Exit has not quite crept in as sneakily as he thought he did. Big damage done. A chance to maybe take a name or two. Jota going to get one. Can't find anything else. Of course, you're going to go for it here. Final round of this first half. He and Turtle have, I mean, for me, got to find the 6-round CT side. It's maybe not quite enough, so the 7... not necessary, but would indeed really help you out here. Kaze, though, going to find the first. Now just onto Turtle. And, well, just can't get it done, mate. Absolutely demolished in that first half, to be honest with you, Trav. A really, really solid little run back from Rare Atom coming in. And I'm interested to see how this second half is going to look. I do believe we're going to take a quick little break before we get into it, folks. But don't go anywhere, because, man, this CT side could be quite something.
Welcome back to ESL Challenger Valencia in a very fascinating opening BO1. Rare Atom getting themselves a 9-6 T-half on Overpass in what is one of their first ever LAN matches with this roster. Mercury and Mose, the new incomers of this team, influx of youngsters for the old Vici Gaming roster. Kaze having a superb T-half scriv. I gotta say, MIBR under pressure now on T side.
Yes, absolutely. I'd say Mercury as well. He did a lot of the opening up in some of those mega important rounds. So really sorted them out, got them kick-started. So we're pretty happy with what we've seen so far from Rare Atom. MIBR were the favourites, and so far they are disappointing somewhat. Look at this, though. The push coming in. The timing could be perfect on it. Flash over the top. They're going to get the one and get out, but...
That's brilliant.
I don't know. They maybe could have got more. They were nades in hand, those players. Meanwhile, the monster pushes come in, and they have no idea. Oh, no. It was too good to be true.
I was feeling that as well. That's such a good point, right? I mean, that's something that MIBR have done really well to recover if they're in the round. Let's see, actually, first, before we discuss it. Kaze and Mercury, 2v4. It's looking very unlikely, especially with the angles that are being held. Two in water, baiting each other in. That's going to be a nightmare to clear out. And they'll already be spotted. P2000 picked up, gets the second headshot. And now it's all down to Kaze, looking to farm some more kills in this game. Another P2000 user, but in the end, Cello will take his head off. And yeah, Scrivs, that was a really great bit of initiative taking, going through short pipe in toward the back of Monster with that flashbang to try and figure out what MIBR were doing. But in the end, they just ran it through and didn't stop, and that caught them off guard.
Yeah, and it's difficult because I think your player at the back end near pit, near water, has to be set up for that flash.
Yeah.
So therefore is kind of sacrificing the info, it looked like, that you'd usually get on Monster. Yeah. And it's a really nice idea. I'd like to see maybe they do it again further on in the tournament or whatever. Little faster. You know, it's really unfortunate that the timing just went south, and like you say, the sort of vanguard of the MIBR attack was already through. They didn't have anyone spotting. Obviously, by taking lots of control in one area, you're going to give it up in another. And yeah, I would argue got a little unlucky with it, but at the same time, MIBR just still going with it, not panicking. Yeah, you know?
The fact that Advent was in water as well, and he had players coming from both sides. Honestly, that water position for me is one of my least favourite places to be, especially on a pistol round. If they're going to make a play in toward Monster like that, I'd like to see Advent maybe toward the ABC position near CT, maybe Heaven, something like that, because I feel like when you have the low ground rather than the high ground, it's such a hard place to multi-frag from, even get one from when you're getting conversed in from two different angles. But Rare Atom have force board, of course. Kaze leaving a little bit of extra cash for the future AWP. Bamas on Mercury after that kill. Mosier with the Deagle. Same with Jamyoung and Advent on the MP9. 2 MAC-10s on MIBR with 3 rifles to support.
Loving Rare Atom at the moment. It seems like we've got the sort of gimmick book brought with them.
Yeah.
Nice little flash play in the previous round. Cheeky little boost into this round. Doesn't find the same sort of success. MIBR, though. This is it, right? You get the pistol, you win this one, you close the gap very, very quickly. And all of a sudden, the narrative shifts.
Yeah.
Rare Atom, great first half, looking good, solid lead. It can all kind of disappear in an instant. And then MIBR, they win that first rifle round. Not only do they take the lead, they ruin your money, and you start to panic. Again, we're on LAN. It's really going to affect some of these newer players that we're talking about on Rare Atom. So it's only one round into this second half, but the pressure is mounting on this CT side.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it might be something Maui brought up on the desk, of course, as well, is that Rare Atom do like to throw in some different CT side setups. So we'll have to see once they get the guns out what they can show and the aggression that could maybe catch MIBR off guard, of course. But in the end, Rare Atom took the gamble in this one to go for a full A-site stack. In the end, they'll get caught out, unfortunately, and MIBR will take this one pretty comfortably.
I think this is maybe what Bit was talking about a little bit as well, where it's like, you know, the certainly wacky as the Asian Counter-Strike can be, but I've watched, I've learned, and like you say, CT side maybe from Rare Atom a bit more rigid, a bit more readable. This round seems to be a pretty good example of that, right? They get a bit of the long control, bit of the mid control, you know, your basic default on the T side, but all of a sudden they all group up and go B. And I think part of the logic behind that is kind of like they love a good stack. Yeah, right? And I get that. I feel like MIBR certainly will have done their work, and I think it's coming through pretty well so far.
What's your thoughts on confidence with this? Because, sure, Rare Atom, we've said it multiple times, they've only played in their own region, but they have won their last 6 VO3s. So would you say that confidence with that could transfer over to LAN, even though it's a completely different setup?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd definitely say so. I feel like it's what we've seen, especially from their T side there. A lot of they were never out of any of those rounds, even though it looked like they were... what, 2 or 3 of them really not in with a good chance. So I think it does play a factor into your first game. Now, it depends on how this one goes, and they're certainly bringing it close. They are making MIBR work for the victory, as we all assume they're going to get. Might even snatch it away. But it's tough. It's tough, because you also have to check yourself, right? It's a very, very different region. And it just functions very differently. Like you said, you know, that final of their Challenger season is a bit weird. They lose the Ancient very one-sidedly and then just swing it back. You know, it's another day at the office kind of thing. I actually did have a CT start, so, you know, that can happen. Well, I guess. Maybe not to that extent, but anyway, this is an opening pick for Advent on this one. 35 seconds to go, actually. Turtle needs to be careful. Jamieron's actually just crept by the angle, so he's not going to be aware of it, but he does switch around fast enough. Kaze will rip one more off, though. Another frag for him, now bordering on 20 so early on. And look where Mercury is. He's taken up a position from one of his teammates, which is so unexpected to MIBR. Now 2v2. Thing is, the bomb has gone down, and of course there are no kits on Rare Atom, but they are both here, and they're both pretty close to the action. Mercury with the FAMAS. It's very close. Oh, never mind. Mosier takes a dink, and now he's stuck in the corner because Cello's crept up. That's information I don't think he's going to know, and yeah, takes him out. Clean finish, clean finish. Definitely messy getting there from MIBR, but they will keep it together. Really well read that they're separated as well. Very, very simple Counter-Strike at the elite level. And keeping it clean. Will cost them a little bit. We like to say, you know, surviving with 3 is making money. Going below that, you're losing money. But we'll see, we'll see. All the fun stuff, you know, the easy rounds, they're over. This is where it really starts to get serious now. Kaze is back on his AWP. He was running rampant with this thing on the T side. They've not gone for a kit on the Rare Atom side, so maybe keep your eyes on that. But other than that, the buy is pretty good. Yeah, what I will say, of course, as well, is the BRN, of course, the guy we've spoken a lot about, actually, in the pre-game. He's only on 6 kills so far in this one, which is a bit of a surprise when you're the AWPer, of course, on the CT side. Of course, he wasn't given that opportunity too much with how the rounds were back and forth, but still, I'd expect more than 6 frags out of him early in. It really needs a good start on his T side, but that's another cheeky play from MIBR. Another one from Jota as well, just up towards short, not even telegraphed at all there by Rare Atom. That's something you see teams do so much, even with an AWP. Just go for that pick towards short quickly once you take it and peek when they're not expecting you. He's played so well. He's actually having a great game so far. Kaze, it's funny, isn't it? It's funny. He was so great on that angle from the T side, and then swap it around, and he's the one getting a taste of his own medicine. He will still be alive here, but again, Jota, really, really cerebral stuff here. I think it's super simple and probably something that could be read into a little bit further on, but who walks through the smokes on LAN? You know, who follows you behind LAN? I think that's kind of what he's playing at.
Yeah. It's happening again. Like,
yeah.
It's just that they've decided to gamble toward A. And honestly,
I mean,
that's not a bad one, right? Considering Kaze was low anyway after that damage he took toward Monster.
You have to take a risk.
You have to, yeah. And the fact that Jota's so aware of that. I mean, that was a really nice sort of play from him. The fact that the first kill was excellent, of course, but you know, the fact that he crept through again after the damage had been done to Kaze, thinking, okay, well, he's probably so low now. They got the information over from the team. I doubt he refaces. I doubt he even falls back to CT. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes for a much more defensive angle, maybe even rotates, and he tries to just take the gamble. Find out if the site's clear or not. Took it upon himself, and it will be MIBR, the first team to reach double digits.
Terrorists win.
Rare Atom with this 4-man save, they've got to answer back fast. MIBR, I feel, are a team, you talk about that confidence factor, maybe coming into the tournament, but within the game itself, I think MIBR are a team that you will find very difficult to slow down. So far, 4 on the trot, the 1 rifle round. Give me another, and maybe we have to start putting Rare Atom to bed here. But look at it. I mean, the buy arguably is better in this round than the previous, right? So the bonus of the save here, we've got full utility belts.
Yep.
Looking very good indeed. Ready for all the CSGO DIY.
Yeah, it was, certainly made sense, that 4-man save and rotation, or rotation and save, that way around. And then Jamyoung now with a double setup toward Monster. If one player goes down, the second will peek off the back of it, maybe with the help of a flash. And that is often impenetrable. But look at Jamyoung, he's playing up very close. There's a second smoke there, of course, as well. 4 toward Monster, 1 looking at the flank, 5. Fifth player is further back, and they're going to go for a burst here. Through the smoke, 1 for Jamyoung, that's enough, but Cello takes both. Rips the head off of Advent and the exit toward the side, and I'll tell you what, I think that one might be over already, because look at the player in water, not being checked, but yeah, easily taken, and I think BRN even took Kaze through the edge of that smoke as well, so yeah, that's already said and done, I'm afraid.
Need those counter flashes, Rare Atom.
Yeah.
They were very nearly on the money. Set up outside a Monster, ready for the burst through the smokes. They'd sniffed it out, but they didn't sort of flow chart themselves well enough. They didn't set up well enough for the attack. And they will lose everybody, so 11-9.
Yep.
Money, thanks to the save, is not terrible. So there's certainly a buyback opportunity here. Advent will not have anything too nice, but again, it's getting to that point. It really is that you've got to hold off here.
Yeah, and the thing as well is that Kaze, I said that maybe he can turn up on CT side. It needs to be now, really, because already MIBR are starting to build into this one. Cello, if I'm not mistaken, as I'm right in saying that he's the IGL of this team.
Yes,
these days, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's really, it's the classic caster cliche again. I'm going to bring it out, leading by example. 20-9. He's now the leader in the server after Kaze's been the leader for so long. So he's really having a solid game at the moment. Only 9 deaths in round 21.
Well, it's funny. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit in the future and see where it's at. But he was certainly one of the stronger members before this new change. And he's still up there with it. Maybe they're, you know, testing the water and working the IGL around. We'll see. We'll see. Rosie has gone down pretty early here.
Yeah.
Turtle, just living up to his namesake, to be honest. You might get away with it. Mercury doesn't go around the corner, and the catch isn't quite there. But Long is called Long for a reason. It's quite a far run back, my good man. Turtle will take him down, and a 5-on-3 ensues.
Oh, that was so brutal. Little did he know, he was just in that cubby, and it was 1 bullet as well. In fact, it makes it even more painful, doesn't it, seeing as it's Turtle with the 9 health, getting a second, hearing the footsteps, and taking advantage of it. And considering Rare Atom have loved the save, loved the stack, they're going to pick B, and guess what? This time, it looks like it's going to be over toward A. They've gambled incorrectly, unfortunately, on every single round with these so far, which is unfortunate, but end of the day, they were forced into these decisions, weren't they?
Jota. Oh, thank goodness for the peripheral vision. Doesn't get the double.
1.
Jam Young on the 1 HP. They've had their fair amount of luck with these, you know, low HP bars in a number of rounds, surviving fights and surviving dinks and whatnot.
Yeah. Spam the ones in chat for that one. Survives, but how much longer? Exit's coming in to stop the exit of these two players, and there's the 1 bullet required. Kaze will hit a leg, but unfortunately it's only the leg. Takes him down to 15, and that's the AWP removed. And now look at the money for Rare Atom. It's not in a good spot, and this should give MIBR a path to 13. And now they're looking at the favourites. Now they're looking like they're building into this one. Maybe a bit of early LAN jitters.
Yeah, and as we talked about with Rare Atom, a difficult team. They have definitely done their work, but look, man, I will say a lot of those rounds that MIBR dropped were very much on themselves. Yes. I feel, right?
Once they're going to be looking back at the demo later and saying, okay, we shouldn't do this, this, and this.
Yes. Yeah.
Again.
And the Rare Atom players don't make it to this level, don't make it to this tournament if they can't capitalize on those mistakes.
Of course.
Right? So, you know, you still have to give credit to them, but maybe as fan favorite in the UK, Roy Keane would say, they were just kind of doing their job, right? And at the end of the day, MIBR certainly, I think, gave them the room and the opportunity to steal away those rounds in the first half. And it's funny, you swap over to the T side, the sort of unforced errors have way less impact.
Yeah.
So I feel like now they're harder to punish.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and to continue on with those sayings, I guess for early on in this game for MIBR, knowing that they dropped so many rounds on their CT side, it would have been a bit squeaky bum time, wouldn't it, early on?
Yes, indeed.
But at the moment, they're unbeaten. 6 in a row on T. And Rare Atom have yet to find one on the defense. Cello once again trying to make something happen here with a solo play in toward Monster. He's got teammates supporting towards Short, but that's unfortunate. That smoke is going to hit him right in the shins, but in the end, the sound cue doesn't help out Advent, and he takes the frag. Mosier in water, one of the new additions, of course, as we said. 5 and 10, not looking as good as Mercury has, it has to be said. And now in a very rough spot with just that Deagle. 4 players about to surround him.
Still playing it patiently here. Certainly could get messy. And these Deagles can turn around upside down. Not looking to be the case, though. Cello will find the final 2 Deagles. Now just the scout. Good for 1, but that is all. And honestly, man, I wanted to say in that round, MIBR, you have to look as well, the depth of this playbook that they have as compared to Rare Atom's T side as well, interestingly enough. You know, we've got Jota will make a play. Turtle goes and makes a play. They've given a lot of room to the individuals, but then at the same time, we've got some nice, clean executes off of those early kills and throwing a contact B that looks damn good into the mix as well. And Overpass, I feel, is a map that works on like lines of engagement, and they're doing very well at pausing at each of those lines and not going too far in and throwing their advantage.
One thing I will say as well is that I brought up Mosier's scoreline. One thing I've just realised is that he got those 3 kills, right, to win that 2v5 earlier on in the first half. And since then, he's got 1 or 2, something like that. I think he had 1 before that play. So
impact player, my friend.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can win a round single-handedly, it doesn't matter if you have a few kills. But yeah, already in this one, it's an opening pick for Exit again, taking Jam Young out. But Mercury will get 1 back. Turtle will go down as he tries to make his way toward Party. In a second with the AUG close range. That drops the bomb toward Fountain as well. Smoke down to try and give him some space to play with. And actually, the AWP's not switched rat. Has he got here without being telegraphed? No way. Surely they have an idea about this. It's being looked for behind the panels, but Mercury's gone all the way through. How has he found this space? He's going to have a 3rd kill if he gets the timing, but it's a little bit awkward. And now he might be under pressure, but he still gets the 3rd in the end, and toward Jota instead rather than Exit. Scriv, that was wild.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was seen there. It certainly looked at a quick readjustment coming in from Exit.
Yeah.
But then he wasn't trained. He hadn't clocked that he'd crossed.
I think Baron was scoped in. I think maybe that's why I didn't see him. But yeah, it's that heroic play may not be rewarded, unfortunately. PM with the AWP should get caught by Advent, and yes, he is. The back of the dice will take that kill. And now Exit 1v2. Very winnable. Both these players are actually playing it together, which is good. I would not want to see them split up in this scenario, so they can play a 2v1. 6 seconds. It's going to be quite close, actually. Can he plant with his head down? Nope. He can't. It's over. Round done, and Rare Atom will finally take their first on CT.
I did think, does he have time? But that also explains, folks, why BRN's just sort of sending it in like a headless chicken. He's trying to clear out the A-bomb site and, you know, the easiest path when you've only got 15 to 20 seconds remaining. Power of the org, got to remember, up close, still a one-tap.
It is. Very true.
So maybe part of the play there. I was going to make a funny joke about, you know, must be desperate now we're getting the org out, but it worked. What do I know?
Yeah.
So it's given them a small chance back into it. Of course, breaking the streak is the big one. Rare Atom finally able to get a round. Doesn't matter how it comes. They will not complain.
Yeah.
Need a few more, though, to slow MIBR down. You can see so much cash.
Yeah, and I mean, because of the success of their first half, right, they're only 3 behind, and they're only one on CT after the first 7. So, yeah, honestly, they are not out of this one by any stretch of the imagination. Kaze will take one little peek with the jump spot and then fall away. And at this stage, with a minute to go, MIBR are very heavily pushing for this long play. I don't remember them really stacking many players here before in this half so far. So again, they're changing it up, keeping Rare Atom guessing. Can they find a way to deal with it? Exit will show presence toward the edge of balloons there. Shooting one bullet in toward Bathroom. Does it warn Mercury away? It might.
Just watching the minimap. See what the move is. Bathroom's control, it's pretty important. 30 seconds left, though. They don't have the long presence that they once had. 25 seconds.
This is good. This is good from Rare Atom. They're really stalling them right now, but the burst is going to have to come in sooner rather than later. Kaze defending, but he's got to be wary of long as well, and that's the problem. He's got to worry about 2 different angles, but he still gets the first. Turtle now trained on the angle, but he's just staying put. They might have to fall back off of this one. Kaze gets another, and Mercury will follow up. Kaze doing more work, and Mercury even pushing Exit away as well. 3 seconds again. MIBR are going to time out here, and they've seemed to have hit a little bit of a wall in the last couple.
The longer you wait, the more perfect the play has to be. Less room for error is generally how it goes, and unfortunately, you know, see a lot of teams, to be fair, run the clock down, and it's less like they've got an idea and more like they don't really have an idea. You know what I mean? Contact flash in from Bathrooms, I don't think is necessarily the move.
No, I mean, they tried to
no idea where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to force him into a mistake, right? And this Rare Atom refused to peek at any point.
Exactly. No, that's very, very true, right? You are hoping that someone, 25 seconds left, doesn't matter if I'm the first guy to die, you know, it'll be fine. They're hoping that someone just goes hunting for whatever reason. But like you say, it didn't happen. And again, this environment, this game, and this scoreline for Rare Atom, they understand the stakes and how well winning this first best of 1 sets you up. So they are definitely not going to peak in a situation like that. And you know, they won a fair few rounds because MIBR did a bit of over-peaking.
Bit of trolling, you could say.
Maybe. We'll leave that one to the analyst desk, perhaps. Mercury, though, going to find himself an opener here. Rare Atom, perhaps back on it. Yeah,
that was a big opener as well. MIBR once again will be making their way in toward A, but in plenty of time this time. Cello is a little bit caught, and the flashes are brilliant. Mosier gets one more, but Jam Young gets caught off. Turtle hits the headshot. They have a flank with Advent, though, but he's making some noise. It hasn't been heard yet, but it's going to be checked, but he recovers it, and that drops the bomb as well. Really good frag from Advent, and he'll just escape now in toward long 2. Turtle now is very stuck on the site, not really knowing where he's being pressured from, but the 2 low HP players are toward long. Doesn't matter. Mercury takes his head off, and BRN is stuck in a 1v3 with not much to write home about at the moment.
Might be one of the biggest kills of the game so far for Advent, dropping that bomb. And it's so damn close. It looked like he was about to get caught. The spidey sense tingles of the T-side player, but not enough. Yeah, absolutely massive. And like I say, it might just turn the tides here, because that won them this round. Now the money starts to come into question a little bit for MIBR. Should still be able to drop across with the money bag players that they have, but it wasn't quite as healthy as it once was. They're not getting these bomb plants as consistently. Before we cut across to the replay, you see they throw for a pause as well. So,
yeah,
they're sweating. They're sweating.
Yeah, if there's a time to use the pauses, it's now, that's for certain. Mercury actually really struggled with that duel toward long to begin with, the first frag he got, and I was worried that that could be a frag that could really set up MIBR for the execute, because then long would be totally taken. And Advent's flank perhaps wouldn't have meant much at all, but he recovers the headshot to get 2 in the round and increase his tally to 18 now. He's been very impressive. Tactical timeouts coming in, you can see the discussions, you can see the faces. They're looking a little bit concerned, aren't they? Rare Atom looking quite calm and collected at the moment. Look at the stage.
Cool. Yeah, it looks nice, mate. It looks nice. I bet it is absolutely roasting.
That's true.
But it looks nice.
Do you know the temperature in Valencia? It must be plus 30 plus, no?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely, as a northern man with a little bit of extra timber, would not be comfortable out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, as a man with a broken pancreas, I certainly wouldn't be.
Well, there you are, indeed. So I think we are quite happy here in the cool studio.
Yes.
But all the same, it does look nice. And the atmosphere, I'm sure, at the moment, the one for your bingo card could be cut with a knife.
Yeah.
In more ways than one, because of the tension and possibly the humidity. Either way, 1 round now the difference between these two teams. Yeah, and it's a pretty wild streak so far been built up in this one, of course. MIBR were 9-6 down, and they made it 13-9. Now Rare Atom won the last 3 to, as you say, close the gap to 1. And I feel like really this is anyone's now at this stage, truthfully. Especially with Rare Atom being on CT side, and the economy that MIBR had built up with that streak they had has been whittled down to perhaps just 1 more. And the way the rounds are going and the way the time is sort of coming down with the money, they could be left on not much at all at 13 all and maybe even 14-13 behind. But of course that is for the future. Can Rare Atom make that future a reality? Mercury again toward long. Is he going to catch the timing on Turtle? He is as well. 5v4. Could be big. Still difficult to read. Is it a lurking presence? You know, they faked out towards B, and again, trying to set Cello up to catch someone. Over-peaking Jota with a massive frag. Mosier got to stop this bomb plant, and he can't. Doesn't find the lineup. Gonna die from long as well, because he's got no bullets. 4 on 3. Oh my goodness, what a shot from Jota to open this up.
That one headshot could be the difference between winning and losing this one, if I'm completely honest. I really feel like that is the frag of the game. Exit gets 1 more, and Jota will find Advent. It's all down to Karzen. He's probably going to have to save the orb. He's only got 4.5k in reserve. I can't believe. I mean, there was a gap in that smoke, right? And I expected the frag to maybe come in through a smoke spam through the edge of dice, not a one-tap. Jumping cross dice like that. That is an insane frag to hit. It's such a critical round to win, especially as you're a man down.
Yep. I want to say it was Mosier with the spray down, right? That didn't really land.
Couldn't find the bomb. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. They had a 2-man long setup. That was not something they were expecting.
For me, if you're against IHC, he probably just sends it around the corner, you know? Again, it's that kind of pressure that gets... That is ridiculous. He honestly, tip of the head, he just landed. You've got a quarter of a second to get your crosshair there. Yeah, mate.
I don't know, man.
Unreal.
That I've got to be honest. That is, especially as he's mid-jump up onto the flower beds, right? RNG comes into play here. I mean, don't look at that nade. Didn't see it.
All right. Nice shot last round. Maybe just stick to the shooting business.
Yeah, I mean, he's mid-jump up, and even if he had landed, of course, there's landing inaccuracy in this game. It's not just, you don't just land and have perfect accuracy, especially with the AK-47. So the fact that's hit, RNG not on Rare Atom's favor, not on their side. Counter-Strike gods might be saying no to this one. What a way to lose if that is the case. And Cello will open up the next round as well. 5v4, and he's already far up toward the A site. 25 and 12 now, Cello.
Those are the turnpike rounds as well, aren't they? Where, you know, one team is going to be so happy with that. Massive individual play. Let's go. Nices all round. And the other team is going to be massively disheartened. And you've got 15 seconds to sort it out. Karze will take down Cello here. He was quite a lot further ahead than the rest of his team.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
He was so patient, wasn't he? But in the end, he's gone down kind of alone. Karze jump spotting long on the edge of the truck, and he spots it and takes it. Rare Atom is still fighting for this one, but in the end, the 2 frags come through immediately. immediately. Can you believe it? But Jamyoung's still here. They didn't expect a third player. 20 seconds to go. Advent rotating in on this flank again. Can he deny the bomb plot? Oh, it's a rough one. Come on, Advent, get the kill. He's got it. Now BRN in a 1v2 with the AWP. Stuck in a very tough situation, but he still gets one. And now it's all down to Jamyoung. Kit on the side. It's been picked up. Can he hold the correct angle? He's trying to be faked out, but he hits the flick. And that takes MIBR to 15. What a huge round to win. Two massive clutches with Jota's one tap and the 1v2 to possibly break the hearts of Rare Atom.
That's what it's all about, keeping it together in the high pressure moments. And Rare Atom indeed, maybe move a bit fast. BRN, he's in Zen mode, isn't he?
Yes.
He's so ready for that.
And he had a pretty poor game as well, so the fact that that's only his 11th kill, that clutch kill, so those two clutch kills, so yeah, superb. There's Kaze's first, and we're going to see Kaze's second as well. But there's the pick, to the edge of dice as well. That was so big. I can't believe they recovered it in that fashion. Rare Atom, they had this one. I really felt like this had like a 14-all written all over it, maybe even a 14-13 to them, but MIBR have shown, whether it was by luck or by judgment, some extra quality.
Do you want to say it, or shall I?
Go for it.
Look at the buy.
Scout. Kaze's 24 and 10. He's done a couple of tasty scout kills so far, but Deagle, a couple of Deagles actually, a FAMAS and an MP9. Good util, sure, but they've broken the hearts, the spirits of Rare Atom and the economy as well at this stage. One round needed for MIBR to win the opening BO1 of ESL Challenger Valencia.
Hard work, you would assume, is over at this point. Rare Atom. Backs up against the wall, gun to your head. What do you do? How do you answer? You know, how do you figure it out? You gotta knock the wall down somehow. Very, very slow round so far. Very quiet. Nobody overstepping in this round number 28.
Oh, they're trying to short boost. It'll be a decent time to do it. They haven't done it all game. That really could catch off. Oh, Jamyoung, he's so aware. Only his 12th kill of the game, but that's a dirty frag.
Look at his face.
He looks so relaxed. He looks so chill. That's an everyday shot for me, lads. And that could be a tiny lifeline, but there's still such a long way to go with the weaponry they have available. It's not like he can run into short and just grab that AK. He'd be running into someone protecting it. So 35 seconds, MIBR need to make a call.
We saw the last slow round, didn't really work for them.
Yeah.
B, I'd say maybe a bit easier to work that contact in, but you're a man down. Oh, Advent off angle, gets taken down, and before the push comes in as well, that's massive. Jamyoung, though, is apparently not missing today. Cello will take his head clean off. Mosier here, 6 kills. Needs to add a couple more to that, to be honest. The AWP creeping round, and he'll find the head, looking for one more, but he can't get it. 2 versus 2 on the retake to stay alive for Rare Atom.
I was feeling that one for Mosier, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible. Kaze needs to win a 1v2 with just a scout, and Exit's going to hold the line. That is a very respectable performance from Rare Atom, but in the end, MIBR just about squeak it with some quality stuff toward the end of their T half. That was worrying, but in the end, great performance.
Yeah, really, really happy with that, I think. MIBR, you know, taken to town. It's what we want in the best of ones, but we still, I think, like the feeling of the favourites winning the overall matchup, and that's kind of the way that it's gone. Rare Atom at the same time, a little slow start on the CT side, but that first half from them.